Today's an exciting video. We're going to cover all of the different business models that I can think of personally when it comes to production, which ones are the best, what's the upsides of some, the downsides of others, and which one should you personally choose. Let's jump into the video. Okay, before we jump into the video, I want to make sure you guys know if this is your first time on the channel, I have a free Instagram sales training that you can check out. The link's in the description. It is a 30-minute video that explains my entire philosophy for selling beats, all of the different ways that I make money online and scale my business past $4,000 a month using manual outreach on Instagram, as well as earning $1,000 in passive income every single month. So check that out. Links in the description, and it will pitch my course at the end just so you guys know. And that has helped a couple of my students to produce full-time for a living, and it has also helped a few others to earn over $1,000. So I'm really proud of that, and I hope that it really helps you out as well. So the link is in the description. Make sure you check that out. Okay, so there's a few different factors when it comes to choosing a business model that will work for you as a producer. So it involves how passive it is, how personal it is, how much effort goes into it, the amount of time that you're going to need to devote to that specific business model, the reliability of income from that model, as well as the scalability, how much that vehicle can increase your growth as a business model. So the first one we're going to talk about is Producer BeatStars Collab. So this is one that I've used to earn over $1,000 passively every single month. I've actually used this to earn upwards of $1,800 in a single month. And so I know that this works really well and it's incredibly passive. It maybe takes me 2 days to make a sample pack, and then I'll send it out. That might take me 30 minutes to send out the pack, and then I let everybody know I sent the pack out, and that's how I earn over $1,000, from sending out samples. You can also do it with beat hosting as well. So you can hit up producers and see if they're in your niche, and send them some beats and see if that's something that they would be up for hosting. Not every producer will do this, obviously, but it's a great business model when it comes to the amount of passive income that you can earn. It doesn't take a lot of time, but it does take a lot of effort to search out and find producers in your niche and to really hone it down and only send them loops that you know that they want to jump on, so that you really increase their trust and you have a brand presence because of the sound that you're going for and the sound that they really like to dive into. So that's all important to note. So I think that it really excels in the passive category. As far as the personal category, it's really hard to make this a personal brand per se, and you can be disposed of pretty easily because there's so many other loop makers. So if you fall off and you're making lower quality, they're just going to go with the best quality loops. It doesn't really matter how personal you are with this brand. So how reliable is the income? Like I said before, it earns me over $1,000 every single month. My list involves about 50 producers maybe that I send out to, and only about 4 of them really bring in consistent income, but that earns me over $1,000 every month, like I said. So how scalable is this? It's incredibly scalable. So you can actually send out to as many producers as you want to. I know I only send out to about 40, 50 producers, and only a few of them use my loops. But you can send out to 400 or 4,000 or 40,000, and you could just scale this up infinitely. There's a producer named Kavi, and he has scaled this up to over 30,000 in a single month by using this one method of just selling samples through BeatStars Collabs and getting 50-50 splits. Okay, so the next one we're going to cover is custom beats. So this is going to be pretty much the entirely opposite direction as doing BeatStars Collabs. So how passive is doing custom beats? It's not passive at all. It is the most hands-on thing you can possibly do, especially when it comes to doing revisions and handling references and doing touch-ups and rough drafts and sending out different things and collecting payment. It's incredibly hands-on. It requires lots of effort, and you have to be there to earn that money. Whereas with BeatStars Collabs, you can earn money while you sleep. And I know I've woken up to hundreds of dollars in my PayPal using that method. Whereas with custom beats, you might have to track people down and try to get their money from them. But I think it's still a good business model because it is incredibly personal. So that's the second metric that we're looking at. It's incredibly personal, and what that leads to, especially in my case, has been return clients. So they'll come back every single month, every other month, every quarter, and get a custom beat from me because they like the quality and they really liked that I'm incredibly personal with them. So the next one is how much effort goes into this. It is a lot of effort. I know it actually involved my stress levels going up because, it's like I really got to stay on top of, drinking a lot of water and being really healthy, getting a lot of sleep, because otherwise it's incredibly stressful for me, especially because I do virtual sessions. So I'll sit down with the artist and real time I'll make the beats. So there's a little bit of a performance factor involved with that. And it can cause some anxiety and stress. So how much time does it take? This for me takes up a decent amount of time. It doesn't take up as much time as you would think. It probably takes me a couple hours a day to sit down and make a custom beat and get it completely done. The sessions that I do virtually go anywhere from an hour to 2.5 hours for the most part. And it doesn't take as much time as a lot of people tell you if you do it through Zoom, through a virtual session, because otherwise you're going to have to go back and forth, and this really cuts out all of that time. And I structure the beat for them live, and I put little time markers, timestamps onto the beat so they can see intro, verse, hook, chorus, whatever. And that way they can really keep track of everything, and it accelerates the time frame involved with making a custom beat. The next factor is reliability of income. So I don't think it's an incredibly reliable stream of income unless you have set up a way to keep leads coming into your business that are going to get custom beats for you. So like I run an ad, so every month I probably take 50 to 100 calls and see if people are a good fit to work with me and if they're interested in custom production. So it's fairly reliable for me. But if you're just relying on producer or artists, to just show up in your DMs and ask for custom beats all the time, then it's not going to be a reliable stream of income. The last factor is scalability. So this is not a very scalable stream of income. The only way to really scale this up is there's two ways to do it. You can either take on more clients, which is going to take up more time automatically, or you can just charge more. So that's the best way to scale this up, is just charge more and more and more. So when I first started doing custom beats, maybe 2019, I think I was charging $100, which is absolutely nothing. But over the years, I increased it to $350 and then $500, then $750, and now I'm thinking about charging $1,000 for a custom beat. So you can just go up and up and up, and that's how you can scale this business model up. And it not costs you more of your time, because you can do $200 custom beats and try to do 10 a month to earn $2,000. But if each of those takes you 2 hours, that's 40 hours a month. Whereas if you just charge $1,000 instead, then you're using up 5 times less of your time. Okay, so the third one I want to talk about is manual outreach on Instagram. So this is something that I still do to this day to some extent. In the past, I would send up to 20 DMs a day, every single day for over a year. And what that allowed me to do is to build up a clientele, first of all, and a following on Instagram. But it allowed me as well to really scale up my income. And I got up to $3,700 in a single month by just sending messages on Instagram. So how passive is this? Again, this might even be more hands-on than the custom beats model. It's very, very hands-on. But the second factor is how personal is it? This is one of the most personal things you can do if you do it the way that I do it. So I use voice messages instead of sending regular DMs. And that's what I teach all of my students to do as well. So instead of just sending a regular DM that looks all spammy and it's got 20 emojis in it and it looks like a letter that's complete spam, just send a personal voice note that really connects with them, listen to their music. And I dialed in that script and I was really personal with them, and artists really appreciate that. And so it's really the most personal brand that I think that you can possibly do. As far as effort, it does take a lot of effort. And I have discussed in some videos, the hardest part of this is just finding new artists to reach out to. You can really run through hashtags really fast and things like that. I actually have a video that I'll try to put up on the screen on this side where I discussed an incredibly easy way to find artists. It's a website that I found where you can just type in R&B artist or trap artist or hip hop artist and find an unlimited supply of artists you can reach out to. So the effort really comes into play with finding artists for the most part, but I do think that it is a high level effort needed to make this strategy work. So So how much time does it take? I was devoting anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour a day sending messages. So sending 20 messages, and fitting that into an hour is really difficult, but it is definitely doable. What I do is I just set a timer for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and see how many messages I can send within that time frame. So I'm hyper productive in a short period of time. So it doesn't take up as much time as you would think when it comes to reaching out to artists. Most of the time is going to come into play with following up, as well as going and sifting through DMs and trying to respond to everybody. That's the huge thing. Reliability of income. So you can really make this into a reliable stream of income because there is a compound effect that comes with it. The more artists you reach out to, the more they're going to end up buying beats down the road. So there's an artist that ended up spending $1,000 with me the other day, and it's somebody that I had reached out to in 2020. And a few months before that, there was an artist that I had reached out to 5 months ago, and they came back and spent a couple hundred beats and spent a couple hundred of dollars with me on beats. So don't underestimate this strategy. It compounds over time. The more you reach out to artists and you're doing it effectively and you have good beats that they want to come and buy, then the more reliable the stream of income is going to be. So how scalable is this? There's definitely a bottleneck on this business model. So when it comes to reaching out to artists on IG, there's only so many artists you can reach out to. Otherwise, you're just going to spend the entire day reaching out to artists, right? So I'd usually cap it at about 20, 25 DMs a day. At the most, it's going to take me anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours to do that. So that's the time commitment that I put into this, and then following up with everybody. It just gets to be too much. I think that it's not incredibly scalable unless you're upselling a lot, which means that you're going from not the $20, $30 licenses, but you're upselling them to your $100, $200 unlimited leases and to custom beats and exclusives. If you can give them a deal on that and push them towards that instead, and if they're a good fit for that, I think that will earn you more money, and all those factors can lead to you maybe making a full-time income from this. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult because of that bottleneck. Okay, so the last business model I'm going to discuss in this video is placements. So there's a lot of factors that come into play with placements. How passive is it? It is definitely not passive whatsoever, unless you have a lot of residuals coming in from previous placements. So I have a song with Rod Wave called Freestyle, where I was one of the 3 producers that produced on that. And there is a royalty called a micro sync royalty. And what that sync royalty is your audio is synchronized with something else. So in this case, a visual. So there's a music video for that. It got over 50 million plays, and I earn over $100 a month, anywhere from $100 to $200 a month, just from the micro sync royalty. And that has been going on since the song came out over 2 years ago. And that song still makes me over $100 a month every single month from the micro sync royalty. That's not including publishing, and I also got master points on that record as well. So if you produced a hit song for Rihanna, Chris Brown, Drake, or somebody like that, then you could have royalties coming in possibly for decades and decades. And so in that aspect, it can be very, very passive, but the amount of work up front that goes in that, it really counteracts that. And yeah, it's worth it, but how many producers have a hit song? We have to be real with this and say that it's definitely less than the amount of producers that are pursuing that. So how personal is it? It's all about relationships when it comes to the music industry. I have hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe thousands actually, that I connected with on IG in Atlanta whenever I go out for business trips there. And I have a very, very personal relationship with them. I have their numbers, their emails, their IG as well. And that way, it's very, very reciprocal relationships. We keep up to date with everybody. I check in with the people that I work with very closely and see how they're doing in life and in music. And so it's incredibly, incredibly personal. Your network is your net worth. So that is definitely true when it comes to placements. So how much effort goes into this? I think that this is the highest effort business model. It's just so many things come into play. You have to have high quality, you have to have high quantity, and you have to have great relationships. How much time goes into it? As much as you can possibly put into it. So I have like 4 different businesses that I'm running right now between this education business, as well as placements, custom beats, and beat leasing. I'm doing all of that and doing BeatStars collabs with sample packs as well. So that's like a bunch of different businesses that are running all at once. So I devote as much attention as I can into placements though, because building that brand is eventually going to get you one of the bigger bags that you can get in the music industry. So how reliable is the income? This is actually the most unreliable source of income you can possibly think of. There's so many placements I have that are, not even small songs where I haven't been paid for. There's no paperwork on. So when it comes to the business side of music production and the music industry, it can be very, very unprofessional as well. So they might have an attorney on their side that's trying to work out details, and somebody is trying to manage the scenario and get splits solidified and how much the artist has budgeted for exclusive rights and everything like that. And it can be very, very muddy, and there's so much litigation and things like that. So the producers can sign into terrible agreements, end up not getting paid whatsoever. As far as the scalability of this is something that I think kind of goes back to how passive it is. It depends on if you can get big records or records where they do really well. You can even make money from independent artists, from artists that are not in the US. Obviously, there's so many huge artists in Europe and other countries as well that are completely overlooked, that you can earn lots of money from as a music producer. You can go platinum off of those records. So you really have to lock in with the right people. You have to get lucky to some extent, and you have to really put your shot out there a lot. So I usually send out anywhere from 20 to 100 loops before I get one placement. I'm not even the one who's locking in with artists, but I found that formula to work pretty well for me, is to just send out samples, and eventually I end up getting lucky. I put that in quotation marks, and getting a placement. So I don't think there's any luck involved. I think that you can really make your own luck, and you just have to calculate your conversion percentage, which is going to be like 1%, maybe 2% when it comes to getting a placement from samples. So you just have to shoot your shot thousands of times and hope that you get lucky eventually. But I do think that this is scalable. I know a lot of producers that are doing this full time, so it's definitely feasible, but it is very, very difficult to do that. But not saying that anything is not possible. So those are the 4 different business models that I personally use and that I'm aware of that you can make money from as a music producer, and that I've used to make thousands of dollars in each of these categories, in each of those pots, so to speak. So make sure you take advantage of those. Those are the disadvantages and advantages of each one. So you can kind of pick your poison and see which one is a good fit for you, and jump into one of those business models and start to try and grow it and earn some money from it. So hopefully this video has helped you in some way, shape, or form. Make sure you leave a comment if this was helpful. If not, then let me know as well. That helps me to create even better content in the future for you guys. So also make sure that if you leave with nothing else, you check out the free training that's in the description. I think that that's going to be a huge help to your business. I designed it to transform your business and allow you to change your mindset when it comes to selling beats and earn more money from them, as a lot of my students have in the past. And I hope that you can do the same. So make sure you check it out. Link is in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.